Hi guys, my name is Ochuko and welcome to another episode of the BP Talks. Today I have with me Divisional Head, Brand and Communications at Fidelity Bank, Mr. Dr. Meksley. You're welcome to the studio today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for getting the pronunciation of both names. Yeah.
We're so glad to have you here at the BP Talks.
I'm happy to be here.
And I'm going to be asking some interesting questions. Some of them will be personal, a bit, and then some of them will, just relate to your career.
All right.
I usually like to ask my guests, what was your first shot at marketing like?
For sure. Came into PR. That's why I started out from public relations. Yeah. And I came in with passion. Because my original background was not in marketing. Far close. I have a background in sciences, but I have a strong passion. In fact, when I was in university, I used to tell my colleagues, studying a course I would never practice.
What course is this?
Industrial chemistry.
Just microbiology.
You did microbiology? Wow. Can you imagine? So I just knew I wasn't going to practice that. So when I came out of university and started work, I wasn't in marketing and comms, but I had a plan. And I knew that to get to marketing and comms, I had to get the required certification. And so obviously I did a master's, later on did a PhD, and then transitioned into marketing and comms in the bank that I used to work then. And the decks I kicked off with was public relations. So initially it was a lot of grappling in the dark. I didn't come in at a very junior level. I came in at mid-level. So the expectation was high. And, if you come in at a junior level, you have the privilege of having people to mentor you, to teach you. But if you come in at that level, you already have juniors who expect you to know certain things. And so while guys closed by 5, I would stay back to catch up on things I had to learn, understand how it was.
This was your first shot?
That was my first shot, yeah. That's how I came in.
Pressure will be very high.
Oh man, talk to me about the pressure. I had a boss then who set very high standards. I'll never forget, then we used to, banks have annual reports.
Yes.
And in the annual reports, you find things like chairman statements, MD statements, and all of that then in that bank. And my team had to come up with the first draft of that statement, before you sit to the chairman, get chairman's input, but you had to come up with a draft. So I don't forget one day my boss, early days, told me, okay, take a crack at writing the chairman's statement. I said, I'm not a bank chairman, what do you want me to do? I'm not a managing director. And then she said something. She said that obviously I wrote something. I took it to her. She read it. And then she told me, there's nothing in your head. I was like, wow. She said, don't get upset. Don't. Because she saw the look on my face was changing. She said, think about what I just said.
Someone actually told you there's nothing in your head?
Yeah. My supervisor. At that time in the bank where I used to work, he said, there's nothing in your head. She said, don't get upset. Think about what I just said. I know you want to get upset. Think about it. He said, I'm saying this because I've given you a task to go and write a chairman statement.
Wow.
Have you been a bank chairman before? So what do you have in your head to write as a chairman?
Wow.
So that means we need to put something in your head first so that you can create meaningful work.
Meaning she was saying that respectfully?
Yes. She was saying that respectfully. So you can create meaningful work. So she said, what you're going to do is you're going to go and look at this bank, global banks. She gave me like 10 global banks to look at. She gave me like 3 or 4 or 5 local banks. I ended up researching like 20 banks. Reading the chairman's statement, understanding how bank chairmen speak when they speak, how they speak globally, how they recognize that the audience is beyond the country where they are and they're speaking to the entire world.
How did it feel to hear there's nothing in your head?
Well, at first it felt bad, and she saw the countenance change immediately, which is why she said, don't get upset, So I did the research and then wrote the chairman's statement and went back to her. She said, fantastic. Now, you can see there's something in your head now.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I like this trajectory we're going.
Okay.
This is really important for anybody who is in, not just in the marketing, in your career.
Yeah.
There will be a point in your life where your knowledge level is tested.
Very true.
And for you, it's quite peculiar because you came in at mid-level. It's almost like saying that you came and offered yourself to the slaughter.
You come, exactly.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
How did you manage imposter syndrome?
First of all, you have to be strong mentally. And then you have to really want it that bad. If you really want it hard enough, you tend to overlook certain things. Oh, yes, I was married. And I was making that transition. You know, I've had guys who tell me today that, in fact, I had a friend who called me and said, this is a friend, you know, same level. You know, he told me, I need you to mentor me. I said, why? He said, you made a career transition, mid-level. And today you've risen to the peak of your new career. Even the people you met in that career, they didn't go that far. You know, some have, you know, transitioned and left. So how were you able to do it? So I think for me, marketing is a passion point for me. I knew when I was in university that this is what I wanted to do. So every day I go to work, it's not just work, it's play, it's fun. I can't tell the difference between Monday and Fridays. I'm not excited that Friday is coming. Neither am I gloomy that it's Monday morning. Why? Because I love what I do. You know, I enjoy what I do. I live for it. And wake me up at any time. Let's go hard. You know, so that's how I do it.
This leads me to ask you about one thing that we're talking about just before we started this conversation.
Okay.
Purpose.
Yeah.
I like to define purpose as that one thing that you're created to solve. I have a philosophy that life is too short to have just one area of concentration.
Yeah.
God has designed an individual to have multiple layers of themselves and expressions.
Yeah.
Going back to the statement you made where you talked about how this is passion for you, you love doing this.
Yeah.
If you want to go and define your core, your essence, who you truly are, is this interwoven with what you do at the moment?
Oh, 100%. Everything about me speaks marketing and comms.
How did you discover that?
Yeah. So I guess the question you're really asking is, how do you discover your purpose?
Right.
So the first thing that gives you a pointer to your purpose is your area of gifting. And your area of gifting is that one thing you do with the least amount of effort that every other person finds difficult to do, whatever it is. There will be something that for you, it comes easy, it comes natural. Others will see it as work. You don't see it as work. For some people, they can spot details. You write a memo and they look at it and they've seen all the errors. There's a gift there. There's a pointer there. For some people, it's the ability to speak. You know, when they open their mouths, they command attention. That's a gift in there. So you need to now say, okay, where can I take this ability to speak? Like, I've always been the speaking one. So everything I've achieved in my life, I've gotten it because at some point I spoke to somebody. I convinced somebody with words. And so I said, okay, you know what? If I can take these words and put these words in a campaign form, put these words in a written format, put these words in a video format, now you're speaking marketing and comms. So I just knew that, you know, this is where I would be. So if you find that area where your gifting shouts loudly, it's a pointer to your purpose. Another thing is, oftentimes, what your purpose will be in life, you've already done it, but you don't know it.
Say that again, but in English.
So if you look at the trajectory of most people, let's take Goodluck Jonathan, for example.
Okay.
Before he became president, at some point in primary school, he was class captain. I even heard he was assistant class captain. And the class captain left. He became class captain. He became head boy. He became deputy governor. So if you see his life, there is a pattern. There is a pattern where he always stands out for leadership. And so it's no surprise that one day you become president. You will find, just look through your life. What is that repeated pattern in your life? It might just be an indicator.
So what you're saying is your calling is already following a pattern.
God bless you. You just don't know. You're too busy to notice it. Life itself creates opportunities and tells you, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. But, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distraction. And sometimes we even look down on it, so you don't think much of it. So that is also an indication to what's your purpose. Now look out for the patterns.
Pattern.
Yes.
This is very interesting. I think the next question that I want to ask you is, an individual who has discovered purpose, I like to say that discovery of purpose is one thing, pursuing it is another. Now, on the pursuit of purpose, how important is communication? I'm a big fan of public speaking. I'm a big fan of communication. I believe that the moment you open your mouth, the world will know who you are. And communication is God's gift to man to be able to communicate and express themselves. Communication has really helped you to a great extent. There are many people in their career that are afraid to talk. They don't know where to start from. If you're to speak to any individual who is at a crossroads, okay, I know what I'm called to do, but how do I express this through communication?
What I'll just tell them outrightly is this. You must realize that there is nothing you will achieve in your life without the instrumentality of another human being. There is absolutely nothing. You want to get a job, you have to go for an interview and speak to a human being. You want to get a contract, you have to pitch and speak to somebody. So in every facet, there is always communication going on. So you can't run from it. Nothing. You need the instrumentality of others to get anything in life. So you must learn how to develop interpersonal communication skills. And communication comes in different myriads. There's the communication I have with you. We're speaking right now. But there's a very important communication that people miss out. The one you have with yourself. Intra-communication. When you speak to the you in you. It is that one, when you speak to that one, you can build confidence. You can develop an image, a persona. Practice. Do you understand? Everything I'm telling you now, it's already inside me. I'm just pulling from within to give to you. And I say to you too, in the words of my former boss, and I tell people, maybe I should write a book and title it, There's Nothing in Your Head. Put something inside, it is from what is within, that is what you would give. And then, like, my wife is what you would call an introvert. I hear people hide on that, I'm an introvert, I don't like to speak. And if you understand that, you can't get anywhere in life without communicating, so you can't run from it. So what do? You do a lot of practice. If you need to build your communication skills, like simple things like stand in the mirror, speak to yourself, tell yourself, you practice, you rehearse, and then you go out there and just take from what you've deposited within you and then, give it to another person. And it's in the trying. The more you do it, the more you master it. That's
interesting.
Yeah.
I think, as individuals and as human beings in life, we have goals for ourselves. Where you are right now, I'm sure it's not a surprise to you, because at some point, someone said that I'm not surprised at where I am today. I saw it before. Right.
True.
Somebody isn't seen like this. Some people have different temperaments. For example, phlegmatic people, they're just okay with life. They're not chasing the world. They're okay with just a few amounts of money.
Like the cholerics.
Exactly, like the cholerics.
Go for it.
Right? But how does one consistently paint a mental picture that keeps them hungry?
Fantastic. Beautiful. So you mentioned purpose. The first thing is purpose. You find out what you want to do. When you see the destination of what you want to do, that's the vision. So vision is when you see your purpose. When God gives you a purpose in your heart, and says, this is what I want to do. Vision is the picture of the end. And when you see that picture of the end, between where you are and that picture in the end, there is planning. You now begin to plot a way to get to that end. I told you how I knew that there is no way a degree in industrial chemistry will get me into marketing and comms. I had to plan. The planning required, go do an MSc, go do a PhD, go do several certificates. All that is planning. Now, to keep you motivated, you've got to keep that picture in front of you all the time. And what keeps that picture consistent is what in English we call it passion. Your passion never leaves you. Your passion comes from a different dimension. It doesn't come from this world. It's unexplainable. Before you go to bed at night, that picture pops up in your mind. Passion will push it up. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is that thing that you want to do. You know, when you think about it, talking about it, that's passion. So feed your passion. Anything that fuels your passion. Sometimes speaking with people of like passion fuels your passion, and the picture becomes brighter. So that's how you keep that focus. It may take time, but you will surely get there.
I'm curious about many things while you're talking.
Sure.
Very curious. I'm curious to know what your routine is like on a daily basis.
My daily routine.
So I ask this question.
Okay.
You know, for most men, particularly when they've maybe crossed their 40s,
like
sometimes
us,
maybe there's a question that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
There are most men that are very disgruntled.
Wow.
And from the point of maybe they are mid-level in their career.
Okay.
And then they say, they say things are not working.
Oh, wow.
They have a disgruntled wife in the house.
Wow.
Children, it's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
You're speaking to me about passion, vision.
Yeah.
I can't communicate that to my immediate family because money is what they will understand.
Yeah.
Right? But one needs to be in a mental state.
Yeah.
Most men, or most people, not just men, that are currently within that age frame, and they need something to help them to say, okay, I need my drive back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can imagine that your routine would involve a lot of studying, reading, research. Some people don't even have the bandwidth to study because they are mentally fatigued.
Yeah.
What would you want to say to them?
Yeah, I think, thank you for this. These are very valid concerns. Let's be real about it. I think the reason why most men struggle is because you have strayed from your ordained path. Imagine if I had lived a life as an industrial. There's a universe where I'm an industrial chemist. I can imagine how that version of me is right now.
Right.
He'll probably be struggling. He's not happy. I told you how Monday is the same thing with Friday evening for me. There's no TGIF for me because it's equals to TGIM. Thank God it's Monday.
Yeah.
Because I love what I do. And if the foundation upon which you build every other thing you build your life is shaky, everything you put on it, it can only last for so long. So imagine if I built my life on the foundation of an industrial chemist and then maybe I'm working in a laboratory. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I knew that is not what I was designed for. Remember, long before you existed, there is a problem that will first of all exist. And then God gives you life to come and solve that problem. So there's a problem that existed, and until you locate that problem and start solving it, you will be disgruntled. Why? Because you are channeling all your effort, all your time into something you were not designed to solve. Imagine someone behind the camera who loves to record, who loves to, do videography, and then you take that same person and say, you know what, I want to make you a salesperson in a bank. No matter how much they try, they'll be very unsuccessful in that compared to when they go behind the camera. So when I see people who are disgruntled, especially in their mid-40s, go and check. At some point, there was a detour.
Right.
And you need to find your way back. Remember, success is not in quantum. Success is in connection. When you put a round hole in a round peg, it's not everybody that would start a company that will be $1 billion company.
Right.
But people will start companies that will make them fulfilled. It doesn't matter. It can be $1 million company, but that's what they were designed to solve at that point in time. So if you want to change that feeling of being disgruntled, find your steps back to what you were designed for. And one thing I've discovered about when you start walking in line with purpose, everything aligns. You hear words like vision. But provision always goes with vision. So if you're not working in vision, provision will be there. But because you didn't locate yourself in vision, you can never get provision.
Interesting.
Provision will always stay with your vision. So imagine you're doing something else and you're saying you don't have the resources. The resources you need, they've left it at the vision for you. When you get there, you'll find that the provision is there. I found out that anytime I do the things that align with the divine calling for me, I find out that the resources I need, human resource, financial resource, they just align. But when I go somewhere else, I struggle. Do you understand? I get it. You see a lot of favor happening for you when you are walking in line with a
yeah. Very, very interesting. I know that in order for you to get to some interesting level like this, you have to take relationships very serious.
Oh, definitely.
And I think it's a gap most people fail to cover.
Yes.
They know how to speak well.
Yeah.
They know how to do presentations. They can do their work well to an extent. When it comes to relationships, they struggle with it.
Yeah.
How important is relationship in the trajectory of your career?
Oh, wow. Relationships are everything. There are different types of relationships.
Let's talk about that.
Different types. The most fundamental relationship you need to put an eye on is the choice of your spouse.
Okay, I think we're having an interesting one here.
Yes. That's the bedrock.
Why did you say that first?
Yes, because when you're chasing your purpose in life, your vision in life, it will materialize on day one. You need a patient spouse that will tell you, even though we don't see it all, we don't understand it the way you understand it. You've painted this beautiful vision to us, but we're not seeing the results. You need a spouse that can talk that way, but will follow you. If you go get yourself a spouse who tells you, heck no, I didn't sign up for this. What do you mean? They will discourage you. And guess what? You know, I told you passion is what keeps the vision up. They will bring down your passion. And then you tell yourself, you know, why this has not mattered? Maybe I should go and start driving Uber somewhere. Not that it's a bad thing. You make a detour. So the choice of your spouse, there will be days when you'll be overwhelmed, even when you're on the right path. You need a spouse who can put a hand on your shoulder and tell you, I'm here for you, go for it. And not because I'm here with you, but I've been blessed to have that kind of spouse. I've been blessed to have the kind of spouse who would tell me, you want to, you know, one time I had to take time away from work and focus on getting my PhD. I had a spouse who told me, don't worry, every other thing is on me.
Wow.
You go chase this.
That's interesting.
I had a spouse who told me, okay, I'll put my own academic pursuits online. You go chase yours. Now, when I was done, she now went to chase her. So you need that kind of relationship. So that's the first one that you need. The second thing that you need is, like I told you, relationships are different. Some relationships are divine relationships. Some are casual relationships. And some are relationships that are seasonal. You must be able to tell the differences between all of this. Imagine you find a relationship that is for a season, and then you turn it into, when it was time to let go, you are still hanging on to that relationship. That relationship will hinder you from moving forward. You need to be able to decipher, what is this relationship? Is it just for this time?
Wow.
You also need to find divine relationships. Oftentimes when I see, you've heard of Ig and Herbert, the founders of Access Bank. That's a divine relationship. Those two had to come together for a bank to be created. Imagine if they never came together. Maybe you don't have what you have today at Access Bank. Or you talk about Fola Diola and Tayo Aderinoko, founders of GT Bank. Those are divine relationships. Sometimes you come into those kind of relationships too, and the dynamics of those relationships matter. One will take the lead, one will be a supporter. So you get into that relationship, and you that maybe you are designed to be the supporter in that relationship, you want to be the lead, you will destroy the vision. So understand your role there too.
This is so true.
Then when you go into the office, now let me talk about office. We've heard things like office politics.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Major role.
It can be manipulated. Major role. And it is not good. It is not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It depends on how you interpret it. Absolutely nothing wrong. You cannot, remember I told you, everything you will achieve in your life, you must get through the instrumentality of another human being. That's how God did it. There's nothing on your own. You are not sufficient. You need, even children. Right. You need another person to give you children.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do on your own. So when you get to the office, everything you will achieve in your career, you need other people to achieve it. Junior, middle, senior level. How you relate with these tiers of relationship is what people call office politics. So you find somebody who navigates the the prism, the complex maze of relationships, senior level, middle level, junior level, and he's a master at it. They say that's a politician right there.
Right.
You did not navigate it very well. Obviously, there's people who abuse it. So they wield that kind of power in a way that it becomes bad.
Right.
So people now look at office people, oh, that's a bad thing, because you are using something and you are turning it into a weapon against others. So people can say that's a bad thing.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. This is really, really stressing. How do you speak to somebody who's not brave?
Wow.
And there could be a lot of factors around it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I touched on marriage because it's very, very important. An individual can get so enthusiastic into his marriage.
Yeah.
And then the person he marries, and then it just quenches the fire. Not intentionally, but that's probably the person.
You love bombed your spouse?
Most likely. and think about it. It comes from a point of your spouse not understanding your drive.
Okay.
Your spouse not understanding that you are trying to chase the world.
Okay.
That's why I had to highlight the scenario where you see most men or women may not understand what it means to be up all night trying to research or study or trying to find new ground.
Yeah.
They've plateaued for years. How did they break out of that scene?
I think we all need to have an ideology that drives your life. Everybody, you need to have an ideology that drives your life. Even the earth, there are principles that govern this earth, and those principles will be there. Whether you feel good or whether you feel bad, the principles will be there. One of those principles is there's a principle that says what goes up must come down. That principle doesn't care that you woke up on Monday and you're sad. On Monday with your sadness, what will go up will come down. If you throw a stone up, it's coming down. And that's how your life should be. So I tell you about my own ideology for my life. My ideology is based on 3 simple things. I call it numbers, effort, and creativity. These are the 3 things that has shaped the outcome of the life I live today. What do I mean by numbers? If you look at nature is designed by the principle of numbers. There is a variation of everything. There is not just one species of dog. They're all dogs, but God creates dogs in different species. If you look at plants, same plants, even mango, different species. So God believes in numbers. If you take that practice into the workplace, and I tell you, your job description is every day do 1, 2, 3. That's all you do. Over a 6-month period, appraisal comes 1, 2, 3. What is the likelihood that somebody who did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 will get promoted faster than you, will grow faster than you?
Wow.
That person is simply applying the principle of numbers. The person who decides that whenever a committee is set up, I will be involved. Whenever a new project is coming, I will be there. I will be the one who will come up with this idea, this campaign, just driving himself to create numbers, because numbers give you visibility. You show up in this committee. I've seen people where you go to another meeting, you are here again. The impression it suddenly creates is that's a high value worker. And when the discussion for elevation, for growth is coming up, we'll look at the man who is applying that principle. So if you come to my office, you can't outwork me. There is no way. I'm senior, very senior, but every day the guys I work with, I tell them, see, I keep it fresh and I keep it consistent. Why? Because I don't say, oh, I'm too senior. I'm involved in the nitty-gritty. I'm involved. I'm trying to get myself, I'm coming up with ideas as much as my team members are coming up with ideas. Now, the second thing I apply myself to is the principle of effort. So let's say you go to a gym every day. That is numbers. Every day you're going to a gym, numbers, 5 times in a week, number. You fulfilled principle 1. But when you go to the gym, you just go there and gist. There is no result. So let's say you are creating numbers. You're involved in this, you're involved in this, you're involved in this, you're involved in this, but in all the things you are involved in, you are not showing up. You sit in the meeting, no contribution. But you say, but I'm involved in so many things. Can you be eligible for growth? No, you can't. So you must, to your numbers, you must then add effort. When you go to the gym, you must put in the work. So in fact, that you get me involved in this project, I must put in effort. I must show up. I can't just come to the office. I must come to work.
Just
That's the effort. That's where people miss out. They don't put in effort. But some are involved in numbers, but no effort. And that then brings me to the last one, creativity. If you're involved in a lot of things and you're putting up effort, somebody can say, won't you burn out? Yes, you will. But creativity is what enables you. What will take 5 hours, you will do it in 20 minutes. You'll find a faster and a shorter way. So you may be involved in so many things, but through creativity, you are making it happen in everything. You're cutting the time short. And that's how you become a high-value person.
Wow.
And drive growth.
Why don't you talk like this? She's talking more. Final words to our viewers. What?
Wow. My final words is this. The world today is changing very fast. And if you are from the African continent, you know what that means for you. If you are from Nigeria, you know what that means for you. You can't sit around. You need to apply yourself. We've spoken about purpose. We've spoken about vision. Every moment of your life counts. Your life has to count for something that is bigger than you. If not, you would never break out from the rat race. The inventions that have shaped the world in the last century, there is a reason why they don't come from this part of the world. It's because people here don't focus on things like that, but we need to have those conversations. We need to build our country. Nationhood must be something that must be paramount to everybody. Nigeria has to come first. The good book says, pray for the prosperity of Zion, because it is in Zion, Israel's prosperity, that you find your prosperity. It's in Nigeria prospering that you find your prosperity. So let's not abandon Nigeria. Let's not leave Nigeria for a few people to resolve. It is our collective responsibility. And you are being very patriotic when you are fulfilling your purpose, when you are doing what you were designed to do. It benefits all of us in Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I beg you to watch this over and over again. So insightful. I picked and I learned a lot, and I know that you learned a lot too. I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.